Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to the reset. As always, we're here to soothe. We're going to connect to the breath, do some acupressure, connect to the vagus nerve, and some self-massage along the way. Get as comfortable as possible. Your comfort is the number one priority. Give yourself permission to adjust or change positions throughout the practice whenever you need to. And start gently, work your way up. We want no pain and no strain in these sessions. So just taking a moment to arrive, to land. Maybe there's some little stretches that your body needs. Just intuitive movement. And as usual, let's start by saying hello to our vagus nerve. So we're going to take the pad of the index finger to the top groove of the ear, come to the front of that groove, and begin to make very gentle little circles. So top groove of the ear, coming to the front, very gentle circles, more moving the skin around rather than pushing too hard. And as always, good time to check in on the breath. When you're ready, gentle circles in the other direction. On your next exhale, releasing and coming to the other side, pad of the index finger, top groove of the ear, come to the front of that groove and begin to make some gentle circles. Checking in with the jaw, can you give a little space between the upper and lower teeth? Gentle circles the other direction. Whenever you're ready, release, relax, receive. Let's just take 3 slow, deep breaths, just observing and integrating. Maybe inhaling through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips, whatever breath works best for you in your body. Okay. Let's take the right hand to the left side of the head. We're not pulling here, we're not putting pressure, we're just connecting. So right hand to the left side of the head, gently tilt the head to the right. And then as you inhale, you're going to look up, subtle tilt of the head up. On the exhales, looking down, subtle tilt down, always moving at your own pace. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking down. Again, not too much pressure with the hand on the head, it's just connecting. Two more rounds of breath. Very slow and steady coming back up. You can even use that hand to lift you up. Maybe a few circles with the shoulders up and back. And then we'll come to the other side. Left hand to the right side of the head. Again, just a gentle connection. Tilting the head to the left as you inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking down. Maybe just noticing where your inhales are being received by the body. If they are in your chest area, can you move your inhales down into your ribs and belly? One more round of breath here. Gently releasing hands down. Let's connect a little movement to breath. Welcome in, Lynn. So let's connect a little movement to breath. We're going to inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. And on an exhale, we're going to drop the shoulders with a big sigh, letting go of any tension. Few rounds just like that. Inhaling up. Exhale, drop the shoulders, big audible sigh. Do two more because it feels so good. Inhaling up. Exhale, release. One. And again, a couple of shoulder rolls up and back. Open up the heart space, waking up the shoulder joints. Let's take it a little bit deeper by bringing the hands to the shoulders, a little teapot here. And again, some big circles with the elbows. Big morning stretch, hands up, get into the wrists, some nice circles. And then cactus shape the arms, open up the heart, lift the chin, deep breath in. And release. Okay, cranial nerve release here. You're gonna grab your earlobe, give it a little wiggle test. You're gonna pull it down and out and a little bit up, like the shape of a J. Relax your jaw, breathe into your belly. Maybe your other hand comes to the belly. But if that's too much, just focus on your ear. And if your hands slip off, just start again, pulling down and out and a little bit up. Maybe a little earlobe pull and massage, and then other side. So grabbing your earlobe, giving a wiggle test, pulling down and out and a little bit up. Really just thinking of all these cranial nerves, efferent, afferent, sending information, receiving information, and just opening up this path for everything to travel and flow. Okay, gently releasing. Show a little bit of love to our hands. Let's do some exploding fists. Tight fists, thumbs on the outside provide a little resistance. You're going to shoot your fingers out with as much energy as possible, 10 times at your own pace. Feel that energy flow and go. Gently sink the hands down. Palm up. Hold your own hand. Extend the arm. Lift to shoulder level with a little bit of resistance from the hand that's holding. Arm comes across the body, head to the opposite side. Breathe into where you feel the stretch. If we incorporate our breath into stretch, we tend to get more space. So if you feel the stretch in your fingers, try to think of sending your inhale into your fingers. Seeing if there's a little more room on the exhale. Coming back slow and steady and switching sides. Palm up. Hold your own hand. Extend the arm. Lift to shoulder level. Arm across the body. Head to the opposite side. Breathe into the stretch. And coming back to center. I feel like we haven't done our thumb stretch in a while. So again, palm up, thumb in the center of your palm. Wrap your thumb with your fingers. Thumb faces up and tilts forward. Nice stretch into these tendons, moving into the forearm. Again, think of sending your breath where you feel that stretch. And also take your other hand, just provide some warmth and friction on top. Other side whenever you're ready. Palm up, thumb in the center of your palm. Wrap your thumb with your fingers. Thumb faces up and tilts forward. Breathe into the stretch. Maybe some friction with the other hand. And release. Let's interlace the fingers, stretch out the palms. Maybe you want to do it in one movement. Maybe you want to come back and forth. And then whichever index finger is closer, switch them. Same thing. And if this is new and feels very weird, I promise it doesn't take long for it to feel a lot more normal. All right, it is Monday. I feel like it is a good day to speak about glimmers, or whenever you're doing this recording, it's a great day to speak about glimmers. So take a moment, settle in, have a sip of water. I think most of us are familiar with glimmers. I am sure all of us are familiar with triggers, hardwired negative cues of danger. Glimmers are the opposite, and they can be anything from seeing a flower to petting a dog to hugging a friend. And glimmers counteract triggers. So the more you see, the more that show up. And if you either in your head or even out loud think, oh, there's a glimmer, neuroscience has shown us that you're going to end up seeing more and seeing more things that counteract those triggers. So get a glimmer accountability buddy, be on the lookout, and let's keep bringing all the light in. All right, my beautiful babes. Let's just take a moment to engage some of the muscles that are responsible for our posture. We're going to take 2 breaths and squeeze the glutes and thighs, and then engage the core, and then we're going to wake up some upper back muscles. So if you are seated, taking a moment to settle in, maybe having a sip of water. And then, as if there was a beautiful golden string coming through the central channel of the body, elongating your spine up towards the cosmos. Bring the shoulders up and back, open up the heart space. Lift the chin, tuck in the chin, and just notice where you're positioned in space. Are you kind of falling forward a bit? Are you caving in on yourself? And then you can check in again after we engage these muscles. So 2 natural breaths, and then we're going to inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to squeeze into our glutes and thighs. So 2 breaths, however they're flowing in your body. Full exhales, push out all that air. Inhale. On your exhale, squeeze your glutes and squeeze your thighs. Full exhale. Inhale, release. On the exhale again, engage your glutes, engage your thighs. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage your core, squeeze all your abdominal muscles. Full exhale. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage your core. Inhale, release, and lift your arms up in front of you. On your exhale, arms back as though you're trying to kiss your elbows together, waking up your upper back muscles. Inhale, release. Once more, elbows back, wake up your upper back. Release the hands down. Check in on your posture. 2 deep, full breaths here. Okay, let's welcome in a little bit of resistance breathing. So here you are going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth into your hand, which is going to be so close that it provides some resistance. So it's not fully covering, but it is slowing down the exhale, which provides some gentle back pressure into the lungs and helps us to connect to the parasympathetic nervous system. So bringing the hand as close as you can experiment around a little bit. Inhale through the nose, resistance breath into the hand on your exhale, always moving at your own pace. And if it doesn't feel good, anything we do, don't do it. Few rounds, resistance breathing in through the nose, resistance on the exhale. Gently release the hands down, coming back to the natural breath. Let's use our PNF technique today, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. So we're going to experiment moving the head around in different directions, and you just notice if there's a particular direction where there's less range of motion or tension shows up, and then we'll go from there. So again, sitting with intention, with purpose, check in on your axis, and then we're just going to very gently turn the head from side to side. Notice if there's a direction where tension shows up, then coming back to center, we're going to tilt side to side. Pretty really good today. And then also front to back. So for me today, I have least range of motion and a bit of tension showing up when I turn to the left. So I'm going to take my hand beside my head and push my head into my hand, equal pressure from the head and the hand, as though I was turning in the opposite direction. We're going to hold for 10 seconds. If your tension is showing up when you tilt this way, you're going to take your hand beside the head and push as though you were tilting in the opposite direction for 10 seconds. If your tension was front, pushing as though you were trying to tilt back. So if you need to experiment a little more and notice where maybe some tension is hiding out, do that. And then whatever direction is, hand beside the head, pushing equal pressure with the head and the hand as though you were moving in the opposite direction for 10 seconds. You do want to create some force here. And as always, no pain, no strain. Slow, controlled breaths. Relax the jaw. On your next exhale, gently release like you're letting go of a few grams of pressure at a time. Take a full, slow breath here before we move. Allow your nerves to receive those signals and then turn into the direction you had tension and see if you have a little bit more movement. For me, it's way better. So if it's one of those days that moving your head in a particular direction hurts, pressure and force in the opposite direction, really give it a few seconds afterwards. When you release the tension, try again and see what shows up. All right, it's still pretty warm here, so let's do a few rounds of our Satali breath, inhaling either through a rolled tongue. If you can't breathe through a rolled tongue, you're going to inhale through your teeth. Few rounds just like that, inviting cooling air into the body. One more. Returning to the natural breath. Okay, let's show some love to muscles on and connected to the cranium. If you ever have headaches or head tension, this is a really great sequence. So we're going to start with our frontalis muscles. Index and middle finger pads just above the eyebrows, massaging up the forehead. When you get to your hairline or where your hairline would be, giving a little wiggle and continuing to move across the forehead just like that. So just massaging up your frontalis, little wiggle. And then coming to the masseter. So again, if you need to locate it, touch your cheeks, clench your jaw. It will stick out. We're going to take our finger pads underneath the muscle, and as you open the mouth wide, massage up over. Few rounds. Highly encourage you to massage your masseter every day. Temporalis, from your hairline to behind your ears, taking your finger pads, massaging all over, and just notice if you come across any trigger points, just areas of tension. You might have none, you might have many. Either way, your scalp loves a massage. So far, so good, but whenever I say that, they tend to pop up. Pretty good today, but sometimes there's lots, so if you need a little more time here, take it. And then let's do a bonus for anyone who has enough hair to grab onto. If not, keep massaging your scalp. So you are going to grab as much of your hair as you can in your hands, and you're just going to gently pull away from the scalp. This should feel good. If it doesn't, don't do it. Also make some little circles. And gently release and grab a new area. As much hair as you can, gentle tug away from the scalp. And maybe a little shampoo moment. All right, making our way into our SCM. You know where we're headed. I'll meet you there. So, big, beautiful muscles, side of the neck. If you're unsure where to find it, bone behind your ear is your mastoid process, which will lead you into the muscle. And then just begin to massage down either side. Invitation to freestyle these entire sessions. So I invite you to do something. You want to do it a different way or go completely rogue. This is your time. You already did the hard part by showing up. If it calls to mobilize your SCM, then I invite you to join me the lower part of the neck, grabbing onto the muscle. If it's hard to reach, tilt to that side. See if you can grab on. 1 or 2 hands. We're going to pull away from the neck, back and forth, mobilizing, freeing things up, and then walk up the neck doing that. So holding the muscle, pulling away, back and forth, walking up. I know some people have shared that this has gotten easier. So if it's really sticky, if it's hard to reach, be gentle. Consistency goes a really, really long way. I have learned this myself so much in these sessions. So consistency over perfection. If you ever fall out of showing up for these sessions, all that matters is when you jump back in. It can be extra tender at the top. Oof. Breathe in here. Maybe another little massage down. And moving to the other side, find your SCM, say hello, massage down. And then if it feels right in your body today, lower part of the neck, grabbing the muscle, pulling away from the neck, back and forth, can involve the head a little bit, walking up the neck. And if you find a trigger zone, if there's one little area that's super tender, you're where you're supposed to be. Hang out there a little longer. Another little massage down. Getting into our upper traps. So above the clavicle, this whole zone, you can play the piano, you can dig in, you can pull, you can squeeze, just see what it needs today. I really like to pull into the muscle, sometimes even adding my second hand on top. Ooh. I'm always hunting for those trigger points. One day we'll do a myofascial release with a tennis ball session in here. I might have to mute the mic though. And maybe getting as far back as you can and massaging forward. Other side whenever you're ready. Freestyle massage into your upper trap. How's your jaw doing? We'll come there soon. Maybe you're reaching back, pulling forward. And then last but not least, our suboccipitals, group of muscles on the back of the neck. Bring your chin to your chest and then just massage across your neck. Maybe you're pulling out, maybe you're pushing in with the thumbs. Just by bringing your chin to your chest, you should feel those muscles waking up a little bit. Releasing the hands, coming back to center. And if it's okay in your practice, always mindful with the neck. Maybe bringing the chin to the chest again and making some very gentle half moons with the neck. Coming back to center. So, as always, love for our jaw. Let's open the mouth wide and stretch side to side, seeing what shows up. And then squishing in the face like you've just taken a bite out of a lemon. Open, stretch, feel into the face. Then let's come back to our masseter and again connecting to stomach 6. So clench if you need to, come to the very center of the muscle and push in here. I said again because we've been doing it a lot these sessions, but I just can't get enough. Relax the jaw. Know your limits. Breathe into intensity. Don't tense up. As always, can use direct pressure, can massage in little circles. I notice here that sometimes I lose the point if I move in circles, but experiment around. Gently release whenever you feel ready. Let's wake up the muscles of the jaw a little bit more. You're going to take your thumb to your chin. It's going to provide some resistance as we open to full extension for 4 seconds and then also have resistance as you close for 4 seconds. So thumb under the chin, providing resistance as you open for 4 seconds and close for 4 seconds. A little bit of pressure and force with the thumb, both directions. Okay, let's just show a bit of love to our intercostal muscles, taking your fingers, your thumbs, whatever feels right, and just massaging between the ribs. Again, if one of those tender zones shows up, stay there a little bit longer. These muscles are literally working and moving all day, all night. So get in there and show them some love. Keep the love going for this area. Let's get into our pectoralis major. So you're going to basically take your fingertips into your armpit. And then thumb is on the chest and get a good hold of this muscle here. So fingers under your armpit. That sounds better. Thumb on the chest. Grab the muscle as best you can. Lift the arm. Hold on, squeeze that muscle, and then relax the arm down. Could be intense, especially when you breathe. And then you can also take the hand and externally rotate the arm while holding on. Maybe with the thumb really massaging outwards, following the direction of the muscle. I get red, don't mind me. Coming to the other side when you're ready. You can lift the arm, fingers under the armpit, thumb to the chest, hold on to that muscle, relax the arm down and breathe. Maybe taking the hand, externally rotating the arm. And maybe a little massage on the chest outwards. Okay, relaxing the hands down, shutting down the eyes if that feels safe. And just 3 slow, deep breaths with full exhales. Fill up the belly and the ribs, maybe up to the chest. Full exhale, push out all the air. Maybe an extra push at the bottom. A lot of people breathe incorrectly, and one of the habits that some of those people have is not exhaling fully. And when we don't exhale fully, then we're keeping space taken up where we should be taking in more fresh air. So maybe just plant that seed within yourself at little moments in your day to have a particular time that you check in and really make sure full exhales. Okay, let's maybe have a sip of water and get into our vagus nerve. So we're going to stimulate the vagus nerve today by humming. Maybe you need to settle in again, check in on your posture, open up your heart space. And we're just going to inhale whatever way you like. I'm going to inhale probably through my nose. Exhale with a deep hum. Really feel into that vibration of the hum, maybe even placing the hand on the heart to feel in. So inhaling, exhaling with a hum, a few rounds at your own pace. Two more. To your natural breath. There are other very simple ways to stimulate your vagus nerve. You can gargle water, you can force yourself to yawn, hum all day long. That's my suggestion. And now let's work both directly and indirectly on the vagal branch. We're going to come to our ears. You're going to take your little pincher fingers, start at your earlobe, and just stretch and massage all the way up to the outer ear. So we're stimulating the vagal nerve, we're freeing up fascia and connective tissue. At the top of the ear, you're going to roll the edge of your ear outwards as you make your way back down. pulling, and coming to the other side. When you're ready, pinch your fingers, starting at the earlobe. Just stretch, massage, make your way up the edge of the ear. Once you are at the top, rolling the edge of the ear outwards, making your way back down. Earlobe tug for good luck. Release, relax, receive. Just notice what's moving through the body. Okay, we're going to take our index fingers slightly into the ear canal. You're going to push back with a gentle amount of pressure, and then again, just making these very gentle circles, more moving the skin around rather than pushing. If you yawn, make it a big one. Check in. Can you relax your jaw? Can you broaden your collarbones? Can you breathe into the belly? Gentle circles in the other direction. Other side when you're ready, maybe adding in some humming bonuses. Index finger, ear canal, just a little bit in, teeny bit of pressure backwards, very gentle circles. Gentle circles in the other direction. Whenever you're ready, release the hands down and just allow a moment to integrate. Okay, let's come to CV17, the very center of the heart space. If you're unsure where to be, make your way to the bottom of your sternum, so right under the bone. Measure up 4 finger widths and push in with your thumb right in the center. You can take your other hand for a bit more pressure. Conception vessel 17, breathing in here. Thinking of breathing light into your beautiful heart space, radiating that light into your world, into your day, into the people you meet. Broaden your collarbones a little bit, open up that heart space a little bit more. No rain, no flowers. Okay, my loves, one hand to heart space, one hand to your belly. Notice what you feel. Can you feel your heartbeat? Can you feel your breath probably in both hands? Can you tap into a bit of the fluid body, of the energetic body radiating beyond your physical body? As you sit here, I invite you to express to yourself something you are feeling grateful for in this moment, whatever shows up. So grateful for you all. Thank you for sitting with me. Hope to see you very soon.